Hello, everyone. Welcome to the certificate course on criminal psychology by Psychoshiksha.
In the last four sessions, we have talked about introduction, scope of criminal psychology, followed by crime and behavior, and how we can predict disorders as a, a consequence of a criminal behavior, and followed by a treatment plan. So in the last class, we have discussed about various treatment plan. One of the very important or widely used treatment plan is what we're going to talk about today, that is moral recognition theory. Moral recognition theory is a widely used theoretical application that used in treating prisoners back to their life or helping them rehabilitate into their criminal tendencies. It's a widely used application in foreign countries, but in India also it's making its space now. So let's know more about this particular theory as a plan for helping the prisoners to build a better life. Okay, so definition. Moral recognition theory is a trademark and copyright cognitive behavior treatment program for offender, juvenile, substance abuser, and other with resistant personalities. Although initially designed specifically for criminal justice based drug treatment, MRT has since been expanded for use with offenders convicted of driving while intoxicated, d- domestic violence, and sex offenses, parenting skills and job attitude improvement, and to address general antisocial thinking. Now, when we understand the term moral recognition theory means that you are recognizing somehow that your moral grounds are not very clear. We have covered this part in one of the previous session also, that how your moral decision making helps you in understanding that whether you are moving towards criminality or not, because your decisions of right and wrong are different from somebody who is committing a crime or who is ready to commit a crime. So here, moral recognition theory is a cognitive behavior technique. So when we are saying cognitive behavior technique, it's understand that here we are dealing with how, our thought pattern works and how we are applying that particular thought pattern into our behavior. And because the term moral is coming, it's definitely related to your moral decision making, which is based on the Lawrence Kohlberg theory. Now, initially, moral recognition theory was applied to almost all types of offenders. For example, juveniles, substance abusers, or other resistant personalities. Resistant personalities are the one who we know that the personality that carry the tendency to commit a crime. Personalities that are more on aggression, personalities that are impulsive, personalities that are neurotics. Along with that, MRT is used to help people who are being domestic violence, who are sex offenders, who have bad parenting skills, parents who are being very harsh to their children, and even job attitude improvement, people who are very arrogant in their job place or who are not cooperating with their co-colleagues. So earlier, the use was quite widespread, but somehow it was thought of that yes, we can use this particular technique in the prisons because there are a lot of criminals who are coming with this sort of a thought pattern where their moral decision making is somehow not very great enough. Now let's talk about some history. The term moral recognition was coined in 1972. Conation is an archaic term that was used in psychology until the 1930s when the term ego replaced it. It referred to the conscious decision-making portion of one's personality. Recognition implies a re-evaluation of decision. Moral indicates the process of correct pro-social decisions about behavior. So I have already told you that moral recognition theory is somebody how about your moral decision making. Okay, how you consciously decide. We have also talked about in previous slides where I have taught you that it's a rational decision making, it's a logical decision making. But here we are understanding that how somebody is making that rational decision maker. For example, if there is a person who is in my path of becoming a principal. I wanted to become a school principal, but there is one more participant who has a lot of chances that she will become a school principal. And there's one more candidate who also wants to become a school principal. So she told me that I want to become a school principal, and for that, I can do anything. And I'm like, okay, what anything you can do? I can also do all the hard work, but what anything you are mentioning here? And she said that I can kill her. I can kill that person who is coming into my way of becoming a principal. Now, her thought of morally deciding that it's right to kill somebody in order to get that position, okay, is what we change in this particular theory, is what is has to be changed in that particular mindset. Why somebody is thinking this way? Why she's not thinking that whosoever is well deserving will somehow become the school principal? But somehow she's thinking that I will kill that person in order to become a school principal. She's not understanding the consequences also here, that I will kill that person. I will be behind the bars. I have to lose my job. I will be in the criminal charge. No, these consequences are somehow not coming up to their mind. And this what we teach them when we are applying moral recognition theory as a treatment plan in our prisons. Continuing with some more history part. The underlying theory of MRT is that offender and drug abusers have low moral reasoning. It is based on Lawrence Kohlberg's 1976 theory that moral development progresses through 6 stages and only a few members of the adult population attain the highest level. MRT's authors state that clients enter treatment with low level of moral development, strong narcissism, low ego identity strength, poor self-concept, low self-esteem, inability to delay gratification, relatively high defensiveness, and relatively strong resistance to change and treatment. So same as I told you, that I will not elaborate more on Lawrence Kohlberg theory of moral development because that is not we are only going to focus here. Okay, our target is to understand moral recognition theory. But a very slight brief about moral development theory by Lawrence Kohlberg. So there are 6 stages. Okay, the one at the lowest stage, people have the more chances of committing a crime because for them, right and wrong is just punishment and reward. Okay. And punishment is not behind the bars. Punishment is not getting what they want. And reward is getting what they want. Okay. And people somehow move into the higher level, and very less number of people actually go to the higher level of moral reasoning. So I'll give you again a very small example, continuing with that principal example I was giving. So let's say if I say that I am at the highest level of moral development, it's not the case. Okay, if I want to become the principal, I can also, do some kind of a false things, or I'll do something bad, or I'll make plot something, but I will not kill her because I am somehow a more higher level of moral decision making than a person who is saying that I want to kill that person in order to become the principle. Why that person is thinking that she will kill it? Because she herself has low and poor identity strength, poor self-concept. She is not aware that whether she has the capability of becoming the principal. So she's so afraid and she's like, who can come in between? I will kill that person. Okay. So a lot of time, people with this kind of a mindset generally commit a crime. If you interview people who have committed crime and you ask them why you did it, was you not aware about the consequences? So they'll be like, no, that person deserved it. That's why I did it. Okay, they are very sure. They have very rationally make this decision that I want to kill that person and that person should be not on the earth planet at least. And people with such bad moral decision making generally have very strong resistance to change and treatment. They are very adamant. So a lot of time you'll meet people who have done very weird kind of a crime or very, a very harsh or cruel behavior they have exhibited, and they have no remorse, no pain, no guilt for it. And they're like, yes, I have did it. This is what the other person deserve. Yes, I did it because I want this thing to happen. Okay, a lot of people kill their husbands in order to be with their lovers. A lot of men also kill their wives in order to be with their girlfriends or with their lovers. Why they did it? Because for them, if you ever interviewed them, they'll say yes, because that person was coming in between. I have to kill it. That's it. Okay, so morally, rationally, those people were thinking in a negative manner only. They are thinking rationally, but in a negative direction. These traits lead to criminal activity, whereas those who have attained high level of moral development are not likely to behave in a way that is harmful to others or violates law. MRT is designed to improve clients' reasoning level from self-centered ones to those that involve concern for the welfare of others and societal rules. It draws a clear connection between thought process and behavior. So when we are doing MRT, we are understanding, okay, that they have very poor moral decision making. We have to change it and make it towards more societal norms, towards more thinking about the society, towards more thinking about others. If you read about moral development theory of Kohlberg, you understand that the higher stages are talking about universal laws, right to humanity. So we have to teach them that you are cannot think only about yourself when you are making a decision of right and wrong. It should be in consideration with the society, it should be in consideration with other people as well. So here we teach them these things, we make build a connection between their good thought process and behavior and omit their negative thought process and the behavior, of course. So curriculum, when MRT is being given or applied in prisons, there is some curriculum that is followed there. MRT is conducted in open-ended groups that may meet once a month or up to 5 times per week. Group size can vary from 5 to more than 20. Groups are structured and address issues such as confronting personal belief, assessing relationship, facilitating identity development, enhancing self-esteem, decreasing hedonism, developing tolerance for the delay of gratification. Now in MRT, what happened? In prisons, we generally make small groups, okay? Like 5 to 20 people can be in one group, but generally we'll take 8 to 10 people in one group. Okay, and we make various groups and they have to meet at least twice in a week. Okay, and whenever they all meet, they all sit together and they talk about topics like confronting personal beliefs. Like, I believe that, women should not be treated equally. Okay, they are not equal members. So somebody will teach them among the group that no, you are wrong, Women are equally a part. They are humans. We must treat them equally. Okay, no matter whatever clothes they are wearing, we should not get uh, influenced or getting manipulated by the wrongdoers. Assessing relationships, somebody who is not having good relationship with his or her wife, or somebody who has killed their any family member, they discuss that. Okay, then identity development, that you need to know yourself. You are not built up with other people. You are you. So understand yourself. No matter what other person is doing, if you yourself is right, right will going to happen to you. Okay, enhancing self-esteem, understand your worth. Then decreasing hedonism. Hedonism is generally the term used for the negative approaches. Okay, and tolerance for delay of gratification. A lot of time, whatever you want, you will not get immediately. You have to wait for it. So you need to have patience and tolerance in order to wait for that particular desire to be accomplished. Now, when we make these groups inculcate people who are there to deliver some message or who have recovered themselves somehow. Okay, they're on the path of recovery. Okay, and people who are there to change. So, a group is a mix and match of everybody. Okay. Homework tasks and exercises are completed outside of the group and then presented to group members during meetings. MRT does not require high reading skills or mental functioning level, as participant homework include making drawings or writing short answers. The most important aspect of the treatment is when the participants share work with the group. Now we all know when something is in the CBT category, CBT involves a lot of home assignments, which involves writing how you feel, write your strength, okay, draw something, how you imagine yourself at some position, etc., etc. So these type of a small home assignments are given to them and they present their work to the group. So what happened, why MRT is happening in group, and because it happened in group, a technique that can be applied to a group, that's why it can happen in prisons, because prison has large number of people. For a counselor to do individual MRT is not possible. We make groups and counsel them all together. They help each other within the group. When they present something, they motivate each other, they get encouraged by each other, and it works wonderfully in treating people to go on the betterment. The facilitator is trained to ask appropriate questions concerning the exercise and to maintain focus on the participants' completion of MRT's 16 steps. So there are total 16 steps that are involved in MRT. What are those 16 steps? Step 1 and 2, client must demonstrate honesty and trust. Okay, so in the beginning only, we need to build good trust and honesty with the client, and so the client will reciprocate. So there are some basic counseling rules that we apply, that if you build a trust, a good rapport formation is very important. So is the first step in MRT. If you have built a nice trust, your client will reciprocate you with the trust and honesty, and they must demonstrate that trust and honesty. They must be very open with you. They must come up with whatever they have in their mind. Client must accept rules, procedure, treatment requirement, and other people. Okay, so whatever you are telling them, teaching them that these are the rules, you have to do home assignments, this is the procedure. Okay, every day will be a meeting, you have to come. Okay, these are the requirements that you need. There will be no alcohol for these days, or you have to, spend this much time for the treatment plan, and how you cope up with other people. You'll be staying in the group, working in the group. These things, the client need to accept it. Build genuine self-awareness. So fourth step is we tell them generally to be self-aware about yourself. Tell me about yourself, who you are. Okay, what do you think of yourself? The client creates a written summary of deals with relationship that have been damaged because of substance abuse or any other social behavior. Then in the fifth step, we ask them that, okay, tell me about your relationship that is damaged because of your antisocial behavior or because of you taking drug abuse. So the clients can write about how they spoil the relationship with their mother, with their father, with their wives, with their sisters, brother, friends, anybody that have a very significant impact on them, or maybe more than one, they can write about it. Step 6, client begin to uncover the right things to do to address the cause of unhappiness. Okay, now we tell them that, okay, now these are the things that make you unhappy. Okay, what are the causes for your unhappiness? Okay, start thinking about it. Okay, what made you unhappy? Why your relationship with that person is so damaged? What has happened? What that person has done with you? Then we ask them, client, to set some goals, what you want out of this treatment plan, and redefine the goals into a plan of action, followed by meet timetables, which we, of course, as counsel has set up. Then conduct moral assessment of all elements of his or her life. So we conduct a moral assessment where we get to know that on what level of moral development by Lawrence Kohlberg they are on. So we'll understand that in which direction we have to push them and how much effort is required by us to push them in the right direction. Followed by client reassesses moral relationship and forms a plan to heal damage to them. Okay, so now we reassess their relationship, that now how you're feeling now with your relationship with your family members or anybody else, and how you can heal the damage that you have done to them. Okay, so if you have, for example, killed them, let's suppose, of course you cannot make them alive, but what else you can do? Okay, or if you have killed anybody else, but because of that your family members are upset with you, what will you do in order to uh heal that particular relationship with that particular person? Client sets new goals for 1 year, 5 year, and 10 year, with a focus on how accomplishment of the goals will relate to happiness. So we tell them that in 1 year, how will you come up in 5 years, in 10 years, okay, and how you can relate that goals with happiness. The ultimate goal is to be happy and live a better life. Step 13 to 16, they are somehow optional. Involves client's confrontation to the self with a focus on a on an awareness of self. Goal continue to be defined and expanded to include the welfare of others. So we keep on telling them that how other people are important part of the society and what you can do to, uh, have a better life with another persons as well. Okay, and how you can build support system to the society rather a threat to the society. Okay, and with this, the MRT ends. So it's 16 steps, but that does not mean that you have to follow only 16 sessions. It can be more than that, depending upon how the group is working and what the actual problem is coming up. Now, there are some list of activities. These activities are mandatory for clients in moral recognition theory. Client must be honest at the beginning of the treatment. Client must display trust in the treatment plan, other clients and staff. So treatment plan, trust is very important anyway. Whatever treatment plan you're taking, be it a treatment plan for any physical difficulty or a mental difficulty, you need to build trust, because once you have trust that yes, this particular treatment will cure me, you will be cured. But if you not trust the treatment plan, you'll keep on doubting the medicines you're taking. okay, or doubting the therapist you're meeting, you will never be cured. Client must become honest in relationship with others and actively work on improving relationships. So if you've been asked to improve, if you've been asked that how you will heal the damaged relationship, you must be work in that particular healing, not just writing it out or telling or not doing the hard work required for that. Client must actively must begin actively to help others in need of help and accept nothing in return. She must perform a major amount of public service work for those in need. So yes, in prisons, we do send them for community welfares. Yes, yesterday also we have covered that. And we keep on, tell them to interact and do some social work within the prisons. We ask them for donations and everything. Why? So that they understand that when we do something for other without asking anything in return, that's how we turn up to a better individual. Client must perform an ongoing self-assessment in conjunction with receiving assessment from other clients and staff. These assessments require that client be morally accountable on all level of functioning, their belief, their attitude, and virtually all their behavior. So we keep on doing assessments so that we know what level of morality they are in, and it should not be just on papers. It can be exhibited in their behavior also, that yes, morally they are enhancing. They're not thinking bad about other. They're not plotting about others, at least not thinking to kill the other person just for the benefit of themselves. So on this ground, we'll end MRT session. This is the 5th session of criminal psychology internship. Now we're only left with one more session where we'll be discussing about how to prepare a case study profile of a criminal background, and with a case study that will be discussed in that particular session. So thank you, everybody. See you with the last session. Bye-bye.